allegations. Army Commander Lieutenant General Rex Nhongo said at the start of the lecture there would not be restrictions
where
on the
you
itinerary.
want to go. So we are taking you. We are at your disposal. Anywhere where you want to go, we are going to take you.
Clear he still had no intention of withdrawing the 5th Brigade, held responsible for most of the killings.
But as long as dissidents come from a particular area, we will send troops to that area. And as long as that party pursues that hostile course, my government will never rest.
The 5,000 men were given elite status by the Prime Minister. They had been trained initially by North Korean instructors and armed with Soviet weaponry. Military analysts say the training emphasized martial artistry and indoctrination, but there appeared to be little training in discipline, and they soon became
Members of ZAPU, PF ZAPU in Parliament, did mention that a number of people were killed in the western province of Zimbabwe. People choose to call it Ndebele land.
We have treated them with kid gloves all along, but we are going all out now to crush them, and we'll crush them.
What about the serious allegations of brutality carried out by the 5th Brigade?
That's Nkomo who says that. Unless there are...
And see for yourself the plight of people under your charge. They are neither dissidents nor criminals. They are ordinary law-abiding people who want to be like to associate with other people, right to move freely in our country, right to belong to any organization of our choice, right to worship as we believe, most of all, right to life.
Mugabe may have different
call for an end to inter-tribe hostility.
We have people beating up people. Why must people beat each other? Why must people beat the next person? Why must you teach people to hate? This is no time to teach people to hate each other. This is the time to teach people to respect each other, to accept each other, not to hate, not to roar, not to kill. It is because we don't understand. Nobody.
On people or on targets one doesn't know.
But two critics of the government, Ian Smith and opposition leader Joshua Nkomo,
treatment of the Ndebele people as being evidence against government claims of a simple security operation in Ndebele.
Well, it is a queer security situation, operation. When the military gather people together and start singing political songs, Zanu PF songs, and start denouncing me and denouncing ZAPU. What type of security operation is that one?
Is it an attempt to wipe out ZAPU before bringing in a one-party state?
Well, I don't think it is possible to wipe out ZAPU, but there's an attempt to do so.
This rally of the parties became very specific and personal.
I have suffered. I have worked so hard for this country. Before independence, during the war, I worked so hard after independence to make our independence stick. And this man today turns around and he calls me a traitor. Me, a traitor, a man who worked for this country so much. There is no insult to beat this one.
And in this church hall in Bulawayo, now home for just a few of the thousands of people driven from their villages by the army.
kwathi singambambi bamgijimiseze baloko bemshaya waze waphuma igazi ngendlela base bemthatha behamba naye entabeni bafika bamdubula khona bathe sebemdubulile bamthatha bamsondeza entabeni bamlalisa ngobuso bamthi so.
The 5th Brigade, blamed for the killings, is Mr. Mugabe's elite Praetorian Guard.
And this was they dripped the...
Burning plastic was dripped onto his back, burning into the flesh, and leaving livid scars many weeks later.
That liquid which comes from the plastic paper, we're dripping it in. Liquid plastic? Yeah.
Another place of refuge from the troubles in Ndebele land is provided by neighboring Botswana. It's not a situation relished by Botswana, a country much poorer than Zimbabwe, but it doesn't want to embarrass Mugabe by granting official refugee status to these uninvited guests. Many have horrifying tales to tell.
How do they kill you?
Sometimes they hit you. After hitting you, they cut you into pieces.
They don't ask. Sometimes they just shoot on sight. Sometimes they first question you and want to see your kind of support, whether they support Zanu or Zap. If they find that you are supportive of Zap, they kill. When I was there, I met those 5th Brigade with their soldiers of Mr. Mugabe. Then they came to me at my house. They asked me why I'm speaking in Ndebele. I told them that no, it's my language, what I'm speaking. Then they said to me, no, run away. I said, what for? Then the other one started to press the gun and then shot me here. You see? Yeah. I see. Yeah, and then the other one shot me here. Then I ran away. After being ran away, they chased me, then they just caught me.
Into the bush, where we saw just one of the mass graves of 5th Brigade victims.
What happened here? The people that are lying here, just in front of this teacher's quarters behind us, they were put in front of the children, and then they were gunned down by the 5th Brigade. And then the locals that had seen them being shot with the children were made to dig this grave quickly and hurriedly and lay those 5 teachers that had been shot here.
And a few miles from the grave, what was left of villages burnt down by the troops. Recent proof of the 5th Brigade's brutal presence in the area could be found at this mission hospital north of Bulawayo. This woman was badly beaten by a 5th Brigade unit earlier in the week after she refused sex with the soldiers.
It has the physical...
The 5th Brigade have now been moved out of Ndebele land, but the graves they have left behind are an indication of the legacy of bitterness that the Ndebele people will not soon forget.
Are the Ndebele people, whose leader Joshua Nkomo is no longer among them. He fled to London in March, claiming that Mugabe, his former colleague in the Patriotic Front, is trying to kill him.
That's not when we're going to meet. I don't see why you should do this. There's no need. I'm going to talk to you.
At the end of the day, I think the situation is one which requires a change on the part of the people of Ndebele land. They must be reoriented. Nkomo has not accepted political defeat, and because of that he has contrived, directly or indirectly, that some opposition to government continue. He has been unwilling to lend support to government efforts to eradicate the problem in Ndebele land, and so he continues to derive some hope that perhaps in future the situation to date, and we continue to educate the people politically, but we cannot abdicate our responsibilities and get Nkomo into government. What he wants really is to be sitting here and be getting these interviews as Prime Minister of the country.
The recognition of the need to submerge traditional or philosophical differences and unite the country.
Has decided to grant a general amnesty to the following categories of persons. 1. Dissidents. 2 PF Zapu's political fugitives from justice, 3 persons under detention or imprisonment for collaborating with dissidents, 4 every prisoner with up to 12 months still to serve and who has already served not less than 1/3 of his or her prison sentence.
Nkomo's impassioned plea is to be heeded.
Our unity is so vital, is so important for the development of this country, for those of our young people who have no job. It is us, the new organization that will be brought out of this unity, that must stand together and be solid. There must be no deceit. We must not deceive each other. We must mean what we say. We must do what we say. We must do what we promise to people.